Today, we are unwrapping a story about a brand that feels like it's straight out of a fairy tale. But, behind those whimsical factory gates, there's a real high-stakes business crisis brewing. And it all kicks off with one single, absolutely staggering number. 180%. That's the sustained sales increase Wonka Industries has been grappling with ever since their last big marketing stunt. Now, for most companies, this would be a dream come true, right? But for Wonka? Well, it was the start of a massive headache. I mean, it really makes you think, doesn't it? What happens when you do something so well, when a campaign becomes so successful that it actually threatens to break the very thing that made you special in the first place? And that brings us to the core of it, a problem of success. This is the story of when demand doesn't just grow, it completely shatters the dream. Because that legendary golden ticket campaign, it worked a little too well, and suddenly the dream collided with some very, very harsh reality. Just try to imagine that shockwave, a 340% spike in sales overnight. The entire world went into a frenzy. But back at the factory, well, the chocolate rivers just couldn't flow fast enough. This unbelievable success story instantly exposed a huge weakness. Their one-of-a-kind, totally unique artisanal methods simply could not keep up. No way. So to really get why this is such a crisis, we have to understand what's truly on the line here. This isn't just about selling more chocolate bars. It's about a legacy that was built from the ground up on pure imagination. This phrase right here, this is everything. It's the company's entire philosophy in 3 words. See, we're not just talking about making candy. We're talking about everlasting gobstoppers, candy bars delivered by television. These are products that literally defy logic. So the magic isn't just some marketing tagline. It's baked right into the product itself. That's the key. And their path to becoming this global sensation was actually pretty methodical. It all started with that big imagination in a small shop. Then, they perfected these almost mystical production methods. They wrapped it all in this incredibly theatrical marketing, and boom, the Golden Ticket campaign. That wasn't just a promotion. It was the final masterpiece that turned a piece of candy into a worldwide cultural event. So all that success from the Golden Ticket campaign, it created a new kind of challenge, one that pure imagination alone can't solve. The company had just hit a brutal operational reality check right at the factory gates. And look, here's the problem in its simplest form. This little bar, that's what the factory can actually make. And this giant bar, that's what the entire world is demanding. That gap isn't just a logistics issue, you guys. It's an existential threat to the whole brand. And, as if that wasn't complicated enough, there's this massive cultural shift happening inside the company. The inventive wizardry of the past is being replaced by cold, hard, operational pragmatism. It's a clash of old magic versus new logic, and it's happening at the absolute worst possible moment. So the new leadership team is staring at a map with 4 very different paths forward. Any one of them could solve the demand problem, but here's the catch. Each one could also change the company forever. There is no easy answer here. All right, so what are the options on the table? Option 1, automate. Just go for pure industrial scale and efficiency. Option 2, innovation. Forget scale for now and double down on creating the next magical thing. A third path is slow, careful expansion, building new, smaller, artisanal factories all over the world. And finally, they could just partner up, license the brand to a bigger company and let them handle all the production headaches. And here's the rub. Every single one of these paths comes with a huge trade-off. Automation gives you efficiency for sure, but you probably kill that special artisanal feel. Innovation, it could reinforce the magic, but it costs a ton of money, and there's no guarantee it'll work. Global expansion sounds great, but it is slow and incredibly expensive. And partnerships? Yeah, it's the fastest path, but you risk losing control of quality and maybe even the very soul of the brand. So after all the meetings, all the spreadsheets, all the strategic planning, it all boils down to this. The entire complex decision boils down to one simple, powerful question that gets right to the heart of who they are. Because let's be honest, this isn't just a fantasy story about candy. This is the classic, real-world dilemma that every passionate founder, every beloved small business, every brand built on a totally unique vision eventually has to face. What do you do when the world wants more of your magic than you can possibly create by hand? There's actually a name for this exact problem. It's called the scalability paradox. It's that razor's edge, that tightrope walk between growing your business and accidentally sanding away all the unique, quirky, wonderful things that made people fall in love with it to begin with.
And that's where we land. It's the final, crucial question, not just for Wonka, but for any great brands staring down this kind of success. How do you build a scalable empire without losing its soul?